acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather, the Turrbal people of Yuggera land, as well as the Woiwurrung people of the Wurundjeri land. We recognise their continued connection to the land and waters of this beautiful place, and acknowledge that they never ceded sovereignty. We respect all Turrbal and Woiwurrung elders and ancestors, and any First Nations people here today.
Good evening. I am coming to you, obviously the Kegster here. I am coming to you from the lands of the Ototahi. I am in Christchurch in New Zealand at the moment, as I think Wency has alluded to at times. Although you haven't heard anyone yet, but so you probably wouldn't have known that. Although we did talk about it on the show last week that I would be in New Zealand when we have our election. But as we all know, the nightmare is over, and it is a wonderful feeling. It's like a massive sigh has just gone of relief, has just basically gone across, I think, all of Australia, and I think we're all feeling the same. So I thought this was probably something that was well worth replaying, and no no other than the budgie man himself, but he says it well, so I thought we should hear it.
You obviously enjoyed hearing it, so let me say it again. The government of Australia has changed.
Yes, we did enjoy hearing it, so yes, we will say it again.
You obviously enjoyed hearing it, so let me say it again. The government of Australia has changed.
As the budgie man just said, the government of Australia has changed. We will discuss that on tonight's show. What we're going to do, beer education off the top, and I've got some good beers to talk about from New Zealand, and we'll have a chat, and then we'll go into Get Off the Grass ScoMo, which will be the last ever time we have to do Get Off the Grass ScoMo. No more GOTGS on this, the new blurt. We will have another politics segment. We just haven't worked out what the name of it is yet. So if you want to write into blurtstar@gmail.com or what you think maybe we should call the new politics segment, we're going to have a few different ones coming up to think of. So if you can think of any, that's absolutely fine. Or you can hit us up on Twitter or Instagram, whatever you like. And over the election period, we've been doing pretty well, actually. We're picking up more followers on Twitter, more followers on Instagram. We're getting more downloads per week. So thank you, everyone who's doing that. And if you want to put a review into whatever podcast app you are on, we would be most happy to read it. We've got lots of stuff happening this year. And now with a new change of government, and we're looking at the new voice to Parliament coming on soon, et cetera, et cetera. And we'll discuss that more with Wency in a minute. And I'm looking forward very much to that. And then what we'll do is the last segment of the night, we'll have Across the Dutch, which is obviously where I am right now. And I think with that being said, it's time for this, and then we will bring in Wency. So just bear with me, people, and we'll start the show.
I can't take it anymore!
Good afternoon, good evening, good day, and good morning, blurtsters, wherever you are around the world. You are listening to the Blurt.
Absolutely are listening to the new Blurt. Need to change that this year, people. It's going to have a little bit of a revamp. But here comes Wency.
Yes.
I understand that you heard a lot of that, my friend, on was it Saturday evening or Sunday evening, whatever it was?
Saturday evening. What?
Do tell, because I know there's so much to tell. So do tell.
Such a relief.
Oh,
the anxiety just lifted off my shoulders, and just the whole week of 6 weeks of tense apprehension of come on, can we get through? But
and then we had Dylan on last week.
Yes.
And Dylan Bahan from Newsfighters, he decided to just let the whole side down and tell us about the polls that were tightening, I was like, "Damn, did you hear that?
No, that's the last thing we
What are
want.
you doing?"
We
Do
want
you
to
know,
celebrate.
it was interesting. Sorry.
I just said we just wanted to celebrate, not hear the bad
Yeah.
news.
I know, absolutely. But I saw him tweet a few times on Saturday night or whatever, and I remember I tweeted back to him at some stage, and I said, "I'm so glad you were wrong, dude."
Yeah.
Because you remember he said that he didn't think that Australians were going to be smart enough to vote, to vote for a decent government again.
Yeah, and it's been proven wrong. So
well, he has. I think what basically happened is the quiet Australians were the loud anti-vaxxers. They voted UAP rather than voting Liberal. Good on them.
Yeah,
because that's a wasted vote. Vote.
Exactly right.
And and so it meant that the proper independents that actually do have a brain, like all these super smart women that have got in, and we'll talk about all that later.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, we'll talk about that later in GOTGS. We've got Beach Education coming up, but I would just like to know a little bit more about your personal green development on Saturday evening, because I'm sure it was just awesome.
It was. It was, for a change, it was actually quite cold and wet here in Brisbane. And so here I was standing at a polling booth in Kenmore South. So handing out the how to vote cards for the Greens. And I cornered a little, we found a gate that was very remote, but people were coming in. They must have been locals. And we were the only ones there for quite a while. And then the ALP cottoned on and went, "Oh, we better send someone down there." So they sent one guy. 15 minutes later, no one turned up, so they left. And then the Libs went, "Oh, shit, there's another gate that we're not, where we don't have our call flutes and our how to vote people." So they sent someone down, put up their A-frames and whatnot. And they hung around for a couple of hours, but trickled a few people in and out. But it was a good experience. A couple of other volunteers there, and I'll give a big shout out to Vicky and Stuart, who accompanied me throughout the day. I was there for most of the day from 8 a.m. till 4:30.
Was that your first election?
My first federal election doing the how to votes. Yes, I've done the state election here a couple of years ago, or a year and a bit ago. So
was it a real experience?
It's no different to the state.
Okay.
And because so many people did their pre-poll, this booth was really, really quiet. So up on the main street, up the hill, where all the parties were, they were very quiet as well. They had a few people come by and they had chats and stuff, but by and large, it was very quiet because I think over 50% pre-polled. But we're on tenterhooks the whole afternoon, and then polls closed, and I went and did my scrutineering in the same booth. And 2 hours later, we, after counting our votes the AEC, the Australian Electoral Commission, counting the votes, because as scrutineers, we don't do the counting, we just observe. We're not allowed to touch the votes at all. So we came second in that booth on a two-party preferred. So that is
the Greens.
With our candidate Elizabeth.
So you're a member. You're an actual member of the Greens, aren't you?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
correct.
Cool.
So I was pretty relieved about that. So then I headed off to the one of where they were celebrating. So the Green Party.
The Green Party.
So went into West End. For those people who are not familiar with Brisbane, it's sort of like the funky bohemian area of Brisbane, just close to the city. So I'll just play this one where the Griffith electorate Greens candidate won, and I'll just play it now.
No worries.
I don't know why the sound's not coming through. Let me play that again. There we go.
Great.
So here we all are, seeing Max Chandler Mayer come in, and yeah, just arrived with grand applause, and that was, yeah, you couldn't really. The video doesn't show the excitement
real mood of it.
and the real mood, but yeah, you get a bit of a sense. And we were there watching the ABC coverage on this big screens, and yeah, so it was quite exciting. But another one I want to play is when
should we play them at GOTTS?
Yeah, maybe. All right, we'll play it. Well, I'll play the next one. Yes, because we're going to talk about this one later. Okay.
Yeah.
Good call.
Okay. So,
yes, that was my experience. So it was really, really awesome. And
fantastic.
It ended well.
Excellent. Yes, it did. It ended very well. And we're going to start really well. So we're going to do this.
Forgot to add you to the stream again, so I didn't hear all of that.
So what we're going to do...
What are we going to do?
We're going to do this. That's what we're going to do. You can hear that, can't you?
Nope.
But you can't hear that?
Nope.
I'll try it again.
Get on the beers.
I reckon.
Can you hear that?
Replay it again. We could hear it then.
I will.
So,
hold on. It's just because you played yours and then lost sound to mine.
Yes. Should work.
So it will play in a second.
That's better.
Excellent. Haha, Sarah's online. G'day, Sarah. How you going? Okay, so we are going to get on the beers, so let's go.
Alrighty. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
New Zealand?
Why not? I have got this magnificent Monteith Summer Ale.
Yeah, nice.
It's a beautiful drop. It's been around for quite a long time. It's a lovely, lovely drop. It's bright ale with Rata honey and ginger. So it's quite a... Sorry?
Rata honey. Did you say?
Yes, Rata is a tree in New Zealand.
Yep.
And that's where the honey comes from.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that's where the honey comes from. And ginger as well. And nice. I can see what's happening. And it's only 4.5%. It's a lovely, lovely drop, but I will go through the tasting sheet, as it were.
All right. So what was it? Oh, when you're ready. Did I get it right?
Okay, so yeah, Monteith Summer Ale, perfect. It's you can smell everything. You can smell the ginger, you can smell the honey. It's a beautiful, beautiful smell. Probably give it 9 out of 10 for smell. It's really good.
Wow, that's one of the highest we've had.
Yeah, it's got just a beautiful smell. And in the summer in particular, it's fantastic to have a whole heap of these.
Because it's summer right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
No.
No. It's been freaking freezing. But what I will say, it has been freaking freezing, but it's absolutely glorious. The weather is magical.
Nice.
I did have some photos to share in across the Dutch, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that, which is unfortunate.
Okay.
But I might be able to set it up to put them online, so if people want to have a look, they can. Because I won't talk about it now, but anyway, there was some really, really cool photos from some places we've been.
Awesome.
Which have been pretty cool.
Maybe we could check on Insta or Twitter.
Yeah. I will actually. I will do that. So, the taste easily 26.
Hang on. Taste 26. Okay.
Yeah, easily 26.
Oh, what was the appearance?
It's hard to know because I've still got it in the bottle.
Okay.
But I have seen it before. It's very light. It's a very, very light appearance. Okay. Yeah, very, very light.
So what would you give it? 8?
Yeah, probably 7. We'll do 7 for appearance.
Yep. All right. Aftertaste.
Oh, it's really good. It's like It's really nice. You can taste all the ginger afterwards.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
if you like
nice.
ginger, and I do,
Yeah.
it's
Is
a
it
really
like
quite
really
refreshing.
strong? Like
No,
smacking
no,
your face? No?
no. It's
Okay.
just refreshing.
Okay, good.
It's
Yeah,
just
that's
quite
the way I
refreshing.
like ginger.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful.
Subtle.
Aftertaste out of 20, probably give it 17. It's pretty damn good.
Nice. The drinkability must be pretty high then, out of 30.
Very high, 26.
Far out. Okay, Mr. Matt's boy.
Where are we going? 26 on a 52, on a 69, on a 76. That's an 88.
Whew. Sweet.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Nice one. So that's one you've had before, obviously. I think you were
Oh,
saying
it
earlier.
is. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I have been drinking it for a long time, but I don't drink it at home very often. But when I come to New Zealand, I drink it. It's lovely.
Yeah.
But just actually, while I'm talking about that, though,
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention a couple of other beers that, because I think talking about craft beers, and I think these are quite interesting to talk about. So we've got the top 5 brews to try in New Zealand if you come over to New Zealand. So the top 5 brews are Parrot Dog, Keith. This made the list because it's one of the best hazy IPAs.
Oh, nice.
And there's another one called McLeod's Paradise Pale Ale. I will put the link on the show notes. Great for when you want a fruity pale ale that's made with New Zealand hops. There's another beer called Liberty Knife Party, which I think is, yes, I think that's a little bit violent for my taste, but anyway.
That would have been appropriate if we'd lost the election on Saturday night.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Very much so. If you can see that picture at all, you may see
the knife party. I can
the
see
knife in the leg. Can you see the knife?
It's not quite focused, but can see 2 creatures. Oh no, there's a mouth and a hops
and a knife.
Oh, okay, right around the face.
Yes, that's exactly right. Knife party.
All right. I'm going to have to look out for that one here at my local.
And another 2, which is Craftworks Saison Anise and Behemoth Brave Bicky.
Oh, okay.
And the last one, Behemoth Brave Bicky, is a super coconutty and just delicious. Still good summer option for a darker ale. Have you ever had a liquid macaroon before or macaroon before?
Nice.
So apparently that's what it tastes like.
Right.
So there you go. If you come to New Zealand, try those 5. Obviously, I wouldn't do it at the same time because I think they're quite high in alcohol. but yeah, have a crack.
Unless you got time to recover from it the following day.
Well, that's true. That's true. If you've got something like a major federal election.
Yes, exactly. Which I got stuck into on Saturday night, mind you, because it's worthy of celebrating.
And you should have.
Well, I've got 2 beers tonight, and I've been toying with the idea of which one to start with. I might end up finishing with the other one without reviewing, but I've chosen instead to go with this one.
Oh, what's a woman?
No.
Is it woman?
Norman.
Oh, Norman.
Norman Australian Ale. Now it's a brewery that I've recently reviewed. Yuli's Brews, but a little bit of something that I just discovered yesterday, as we all did when. So this is election related, by the way. So
it isn't, or it is.
It is. So
okay. How?
So how? Norman. Yeah. That's the hint.
Greg Norman?
Nope. Oh no, we'll never talk about that. F-word.
I can't believe I used to love that guy. I did used to love that guy, but I got into cahoots.
Yeah, now that he's in bed with.
It looks like Clive Palmer, but
it does, doesn't it?
It does.
Not as fat.
No, well, not
this
much.
This one's a lot more charismatic. No, Norman is Albo's middle name.
Oh, is that right?
Yes. So
Anthony Norman Albanese.
Correct.
A&A.
A&A, correct.
A&A.
So that's why I chose this one.
Oh, actually, talking about names, they came they came across a family in New Zealand that decided to name their daughter Elizabeth, and then their middle name for her was Anya. Was Anya. So they realized that they realized they'd named their daughter Lasagna.
Poor kid. If during school, major teasing.
Oh God, she's gonna get pasta head. She's gonna get so many things. Oh my God.
Poor girl.
That color looks beautiful.
Doesn't it? It's really nice and golden.
Did you say that was a hazy IPA? Is that right?
No, it's an Australian ale. So
very nice.
4.9%.
Right.
IBU 29, so it shouldn't be too hoppy or bitter. And what else can I say about it? It's a light malt base, which then makes way to an abundance of hoppy character, showcasing vibrant citrus aromas and hints of apple and pear on the palate before finishing with a crisp, clean bitterness, leaving you wanting more. Australian hops, Galaxy and Ella shine in this quencher. Not that I have any idea how to taste those hops, but hey, I believe you.
Did they make this beer especially for Albo?
No.
Oh.
No, I just picked it because it had Norman in it.
Oh, got it.
So, based on appearance, looks all right.
Very nice.
Give it an 8. Let's see if I can smell those apples and citruses. Yeah, I can smell a little bit of it, but not much. It's not overly powerful. I'll give it an 7. Yeah, let's go for the taste. The important part. Oh, yeah, I can definitely taste the apple.
The apple?
Yeah, it's a bit of an apple.
Oh, wow.
In that one. So according to them, it was hints of apple and pear. Yes, I can taste those two. So I'd give it a 20. Let's get it back in there. 27.
Whoa.
It's quite nice. It's different. It's nice.
Yes. Different. It's unusual. It's nice.
It's not overly bitter. And it's quite smooth and quite delicious aftertaste. So I would say 18.
This sounds like a really, really good beer.
I'm really enjoying this one.
Where was it made?
It is from Sydney.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so Sydney brewer. So really enjoying that one. I think I gave one of their other beers quite high rating too. So
I remember you doing that.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Matt's head. I need your Matt's brain again.
Oh, hold on. Where are we? All right. Okay, we're on 33, 59. Oh, no, I'm on the wrong one. Damn. That's 4 plus 69. Oh, that's 87.
Wow, nice. 2 good beers.
Very, very good.
And here's the other one that I was going to review. Can you guess why I chose this one?
No, can't see it. Still can't see it.
Still can't see it? Okay. It's an amber, so it's a red beer.
Oh, yes. Oh, red. As in Labour?
As in Labour, ALP. Yep.
Yeah.
But next
very
time,
nice.
It's there.
Very nice, my friend. Very nice.
Delicious.
What I think... Well, 88 and 87, we are going to enjoy these beers as we go through the shows. So what we might do a little bit of this. Except that's not going to work because I'm on a different computer. So we might do this instead, I think.
Should work. I've added your stream back.
Can everyone get off the grass, please?
Sure. Let's just move back from there.
Hey guys, I've just reseated that.
Please, off the thing.
Sorry, mate.
All good? That's all good. Thanks.
You obviously enjoyed hearing it, so let me say it again. The government of Australia has changed.
Yes,
That was me Saturday
damn
night.
well has. Yes, it damn well has. That is the last time, people, you'll ever hear us play that GOTGS theme on this show.
And if you really want to hear it, just look at our back catalogue. You can listen to there, but we are not playing that here ever again.
No, we are not.
Good riddance.
Yes, no, he's dead. He's gone. He's absolutely gone ski. Absolutely wiped out. So, talking about wiped out, you've got a couple of videos you wanted to play.
Oh, yeah. So, during the party, the Greens party on Saturday, as most people do when they at these parties, you'll have the ABC live coverage with the ever so mighty, high and mighty Anthony Green calling the seats.
We will definitely talk about that. We will definitely talk about that.
This one, there were lots of moments, but I couldn't record all of them because it was just either too late or whatever. So this is when, whenever Josh's, that is Frydenberg in Kooyong.
Yeah.
So whenever he came up, this is the reaction that he got.
Okay.
Let me see. Don't know why it's not playing. Hang on. I'll start that again. Goodbye.
I like it. I absolutely like it.
Yeah.
It's a song in my head I was singing as well. I was singing our top 100 Sharma Chameleon hit as well.
Yeah.
in my head.
Here's another big one that left this.
Oh yes.
Mr. Sharma, Dave Sharma.
Yes. Oh yes. Well, we've got we'll go through that in a minute. If you want to start listing all the MPs that have gone ski, which is good and bad, because unfortunately, as you know, a lot of the MPs, well, most of the ones that went, they either went Labor, which I was really quite surprised about. Like Reid, I was quite surprised about. I'll talk to you in a minute regarding Griffiths because I don't know a lot about that. But but the other thing is that they were moderates, so they really actually were moderates. But what they didn't get, and they still, I don't think they quite understand, because they had like 14% margins or 11% margins, and they've just been wiped off the face of the earth by these Teal independents. They're just shell shocked.
Yeah, and in Brisbane it was the Greens, the underdogs.
Yeah,
no one really paid attention to the Greens up here. They always thought that we were just nobodies, that no one's going to go to the Greens, but they didn't realise how much grassroots work went into the campaigns in Brisbane, Griffith, and where I live in Ryan. So
now Ryan went green too, didn't it?
Yes, and it hasn't been called yet. So the outgoing MP hasn't conceded yet, but it's pretty clear that he has not won.
Because it's either the Labor or the Greens that win that, I think, isn't it?
No, on a two-party preferred, it was always going to be Liberals and Greens, or Liberal and Labor. So it really came down to who came higher with the Greens and the ALP. So in this seat, that was Elizabeth from the Greens, and with preferences and everything else, she's come ahead. But they're still counting. It's extremely unlikely that that the outgoing MP is going to win. But as far as I know, he hasn't conceded.
No, well, they don't like to, do they? I mean,
no, it's pretty rare.
Frydenberg didn't like to concede when he was 10% down.
Exactly.
You know, he still didn't concede until the very, very end. You know, so it was, just completely obvious.
Yeah, and smacking him in his face.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think Sharma and whatever were the same as well, but we'll go through that in a minute.
Yeah, they wait a couple of days. But so in honor of Saturday up here, I've put on this T-shirt.
Yes, beautiful.
Green Day Revolution Radio.
Yes, I love Green Day, and it was a revolution. And Green Day, you're spot on. It really was a Green Day. But you're spot on about the grassroots campaign by, I mean, Adam Bant and his sort of management team and all his leaders throughout Australia did such a fantastic job getting this done. And he's quite different leader to Di Natale. And
I think he seems to be a lot more.
Yeah, he seems to be a bit more demonstrative, a bit more sort of revolutionary compared to Natale, who was quite sort of pragmatic, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. It's as if he's a man on a mission.
Definitely.
He's not afraid of the big parties.
No, not at all.
And and the journos, as we saw in the during the campaign.
Yeah,
stood up to them.
Definitely the best comment of the campaign. It really was.
Just Google it, mate.
It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I think that was really close to my second favorite line, and it did come from ScoMo, and that's when I can't remember the exact quote, but when he said that Albo, he just spilt everything out of his. What was that comment? I thought that was classic.
He said Albo just unzips his head and just lets it all fall out.
Yeah, just the visual imagery and the way he did it. It was funny. I loved it. Didn't agree with it, but I found it quite hilarious.
I mean, he is actually quite good at those things because he's from a marketing background, I mean, that's his expertise. He's got no idea how to run a country, but that sort of shit he's very good at.
Or lead or compromise or negotiate with anyone. So hence, bye, Mr. ScoMo.
Yes, exactly as you said. Nah. Hey. Fuck off.
Exactly.
Okay,
so
my
we
friend.
Go through the list?
Yes, we will go through the list because I've got the sound effect ready.
Okay. All right. So let's start off with. This is going to be a really long list.
Too bad.
The Liberals. Let's start with the Liberals.
Yeah, sure. What do we got?
Trent Zimmerman.
Oh, yes.
He lost his seat of North Sydney to Kylie Tink.
Yes, he did.
Who was the chief executive of the McGrath Foundation, as in the Glenn McGrath Foundation.
Yeah.
That was the foundation for breast cancer. So poor old Trent.
He is now Gonski. So Trent Zimmerman, this is for you. Next.
Can't hear it. Let's do it again.
Okay. Hold on.
Yep, sorry. You went back in the stream.
Yeah. I will get back in there. Here we go. Do it again.
Trent Zimmerman was a loser.
Yes, he was.
You're a loser. That is why you fail.
Hey, we're sounding a bit like the Channel 9 broadcast of the election.
We'll talk about that in a minute too. But we'll go through this list. Let's go.
All right. Next on the list, Tim Wilson lost the Liberal seat of Goldstein in Melbourne to former ABC journalist Zoe Daniel, who's an independent.
Yes, he did.
You're a loser. That is why you fail.
Oh, this is so good. What's the next one?
Jason Falinski, LNP, lost the Northern Beaches electorate of Mackellar to City Falinski. Oh, yes, I mistyped that. Sorry. Lost to Sydney doctor Sophie Scomps.
Yes.
Who's also an independent.
She is an absolute gun. And this is for you, Falinski.
You're a loser. That is why you fail.
Oh, look, it's even in the name.
Yeah. Next, we have Dave Sharma. who lost the seat of Wentworth to businesswoman Allegra Spender, who is an independent.
Yes. This is for you, Dave. This is for you, voting every time like Barnaby Joyce and not listening to your community.
You're a loser. That is why you fail.
Next.
The next is very close to my heart. Julian Simmons, LNP, lost the inner Brisbane electorate of Bryan to Elizabeth Watson Brown.
Hooray! Beautiful.
You're a loser. That is why you fail.
I love it. Love it.
Next. I do not know Julian Simmons if he popped up in my porridge.
No one did here, which is why he lost.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
Next, we have, this is a bit of a downer. I didn't mind this one, this MP. Katie Allen lost the inner Melbourne seat of Higgins to Dr. Michelle Anandaraja of the ALP.
Yes, absolutely. Well, sorry, Katie, but I'm sorry. I know you're a doctor, and I know you're moderate, and I know you were good, but unfortunately, you, again, voted too many times like Barnaby Joyce, and this is what you get.
You're a loser. That is why you fail.
Staying in Melbourne, we have Gladys Liu, who lost the eastern suburbs seat of Chisholm.
Yes.
And she lost it to Karina Garland of the ALP.
Yes, she did. And she would have lost last time too if the Liberal people didn't fiddle with the signs. So this is for you, Gladys. Very happy to see you go. Bye-bye.
You're a loser. That is why you fail.
Love it. Oh, I don't know which one. Oh, there's three more that are on my list.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to go with Joshy.
Good old
Joshy Leidenberg.
Oh, Leidenberg.
He lost the Melbourne seat of Kooyong to paediatric neurologist Dr. Monique Ryan.
Ryan, I think so. Joshy, you are nearly one of the biggest fails of all time, and you failed Victoria when we needed you. You were treasurer for New South Wales. You can totally go and get stuff. This is for you.
You're a loser. That is why you fail.
The next really big one, and I mean big.
Yes.
Is Craig Kelly, who was LNP, defected to UAP. He lost his huge seat in New South Wales.
To Georgia Steele?
No, to LNP Jenny Ware. So he was running for UAP, you got to remember. So,
right.
Yeah.
I think Georgia Steele Independent was going for Hughes. Is that right?
Oh, I can't remember now.
Oh,
I haven't done my research on that one, but too many seats we had to cover.
Yes, I know. But fantastic to see Craig Kelly lose.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he doesn't become our next Prime Minister either. So, this is for you, Craig, in every which way but loose. I really, really hope to hell we hardly ever hear from you and your shocking gob again.
Yeah,
you're a loser. That is why you fail.
The last one, and this is more of and I should have, so the last one is Ken Wyatt, who was, I think, the very first Indigenous First Nations MP in the House of Reps. He lost his seat, unfortunately, which is a big shame. It would have been great to have seen him, and I forgot to do the research as to who he lost against. But yes,
he lost it to Labor.
Oh, did he?
Yes, he did. Because Labor annihilated in Western Australia.
No, fair enough.
It was a red bath in
WA
in Western Australia. I'm not going to play that sound for Ken Wyatt, but what I will say about Ken Wyatt is, again, didn't cross the floor enough, and he voted with Barnaby too many times.
Too many times, correct.
And for an Indigenous leader that he is, and he thinks, that he cares about climate change, climate and country, how he could possibly vote the way of allowing more coal mines and gas fracking, etc., I don't get. So, unfortunately, he deserves to lose his seat, but I'm not going to play that sound.
No. And let's go to the ALP
Yes.
members that we've lost. Much shorter list.
I probably won't play sound on that one either, but go for it.
All right. So here in Brisbane, we lost Terry Butler.
She was actually a pretty good operator, but she obviously, because she had quite a big margin too, but obviously just didn't. I don't know, because
she didn't get she didn't talk to the locals, to her people that she represents. Whereas Max Chandler from the Greens, he literally knocked on tens of thousands of doors to see what people were thinking and what their concerns were, and where they thought things were going right or wrong, and the like. So he deserves to win because he did the hard yards. And
look, I agree with you. I think probably it was taken for granted. So it's a bit of a shame. She's a very good operator. She's really good in Parliament, but some of the people they've got in there now is pretty amazing. So from the Independents and the Greens, because I think the Greens are going to get 4 new people or 3 new people.
3. There's at least 2 new, possibly a third. So,
and I think there's 3 or 4 for the Senate too, isn't there?
Yeah. So there's one in Queensland with Senator Penny. I forget her name. Sorry, I should know.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry, I'm doing an elbow moment where I just can't remember. Sorry,
that's all right.
We
don't do doctors on this show, so that's all right.
No, we don't. No, because we're not.
It means nothing.
Exactly.
It means nothing.
The other big ALP name to drop is Christina Keneally, and she was the one who got parachuted from the northern affluent suburbs of Sydney into the western suburbs of the seat called Fowler, and she lost to an independent called Dai Lee. And Keneally replaced Tu Lee, who was a Vietnamese lawyer who actually lives and works, I believe, works in the area. So looking in hindsight, you would, I think, assume that Tu Lee would have won if she was testing.
Yes, I believe you're right. I think she would have won. I mean, those situations are hard because when you've got an operator like Christina Keneally, very talented. Very talented. She knows what she's talking about. She's very good, very smart, and you want to get her in Parliament and you want her to run things. So, like, well, how do you get them in a seat so you definitely make sure you know that they get in, and in all intents and purposes it was meant to be a safe seat. But as we have seen time and time again in this election, safe seats now really mean nothing. Nothing is safe. No, exactly. And we'll wrap this up a little bit because it's getting late, and we'll just get onto Across the Dutch, and I think we've done quite well here. But what I did want to say was that the Labor Party's vote was down, I think, around 32% from a primary vote, and the LNP's vote was about 35%. But I think what people forgot to say, and again, this is nuance and actually sort of thinking outside the square slightly, is that many people in the areas who vote Labor normally, that had a teal independent, knew it was smarter not to vote Labor because they knew that their Labor was never ever going to get in. Because that area just never is Labor; it's always blue. Kooyong is a classic example. So if you live in that area and you're a Labor voter, if you were going to be smart, you would have voted teal. And so therefore that Labor voter went teal. So therefore you've lost that primary vote.
Exactly.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm not. So what I'm trying to say is that the primary vote was down, but it wasn't necessarily down because people didn't want to vote Labor. They actually wanted to vote the blue guy out. By voting the independent in
those seats, which doesn't make sense in WA because it's blue or red. So That's where they go.
There was only one or but there was only one or two teals in Western Australia. In fact, I don't even know if there was a teal in West Australia. It was just basically it's basically the teals were basically inner city Melbourne and inner city Sydney.
Yeah.
And the libs are never going to get them back ever again, I would say. I think they're gone.
No. That's what they're predicting. They won't come back from that.
No.
Or at least it may take several elections before they get it back.
Well, I mean, the libs, I don't know where they are now, but I think the libs have only got, 55 seats or something? They can completely decimated, 100% decimated. Yeah. So that clip that I played of Budgie Man right at the start, the YouTube of that actually shows you what the votes were on the night when he won in 2013.
Okay. All right.
85 seats went to LNP.
Wow.
56 seats went to Labor.
Yeah.
1 went to Green.
Yeah, which was out in Bant, I would assume.
Exactly right. Which is just nuts. And then this time, it's 50. I think, as I say, 52, 55 seats to LNP, and 70 odd seats to Labor, and then all the rest is others, which is independents or whatever the situation is. But
the Greens.
Yeah, absolutely. But what I was really upset about, and I will talk about, is poor old Senator Rex Patrick didn't get back, and I don't understand why.
I haven't looked into that one. Yeah.
No, don't get it. Do not get it. He was a fantastic operator. Really good operator. That's a really bad loss for the Senate. Who
did he fall to? What party?
I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not sure. I need to do some investigation on that as well. But Senator Rex Patrick, that was a really bad loss on that one. So, but anyway,
Senate. I don't understand how the Senate works. With
I have to do
things like that. It's complicated.
I've got to do more research on that myself. So,
we've got 3 years on this one.
Sorry.
We've got 3 years to learn how the Senate works in counting and stuff like that.
Yes. No, we do.
Bloody complicated.
Look, we'll go to Across the Dutch now, but unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to get a theme together for this, but I will at some stage. And because I'm in New Zealand, I'm a little bit on the hop with different stings, etc. as well. So we might just go to Across the Dutch. I've got a couple of things that I can start with. If you are happy for me to do that, or if you've got something you want to talk about.
You go for it.
Okay, so I've got a couple of things here. A couple of little things I've picked up since I've been here. And, that's right. One thing is, in Christchurch at the moment, I don't exactly know why, but they've got a thing called the bug stunk, and it's not brilliant.
The bug stunk.
The bug stunk,
okay.
which actually translates to the big stink. And it's pretty horrible. And I've just got a little bit of a thing here. So it says here, work to reduce the putrid stench. So this is just a advertising for anyone who wants to come over to Christchurch. Work to reduce the putrid stench plaguing East Christchurch is now weeks overdue because the air freight trouble means the city council cannot get its hand on the specialist pumps it needs from Sweden. Meanwhile, some residents living with the big stench want the council to extend the financial proposal, which is available to only 3,000 households. There's a lot of people not happy about the bug stunk, and I can tell you it is not nice. It is not nice at all. Sorry?
Any ideas what's causing it?
Yeah, apparently there was some dude that went to fix the pumps at the sewerage area or whatever, and it blew up.
Right, okay.
And
it shut itself?
Yes, it did. Yes. Absolutely.
Where's my boom boom tish?
I know. I don't have the ability. But
we'll have it later.
Yes, absolutely. But no, you're exactly right. That was beautiful, actually. Absolutely superb. So yes, it is. It absolutely did shit itself,
Wow.
and it's really horrible. It's not good at all.
Wow.
So yeah, so that's an interesting thing happening here. But don't be put off, people. Christchurch is a lovely place, but it does stink at the moment at times. Just not all the time, but at times.
Just wait till that shipment arrives from Sweden.
Yes, yes. Things will be better. But a mobile alert test. More than 5 million mobile phones across the country rang, buzzed, and lit up after receiving an alert last night during the year's nationwide test of the emergency mobile alert system.
Okay.
So when I got here a few days ago, I was like, my phone went off, and I was like, what the hell's that about? And it's they get these emergency disaster alerts for earthquakes, etc.
Yeah, of course.
So it's quite interesting. So
So you've got a New Zealand mobile SIM, or is it your Australian one?
Well, that's a good story. Yes, I do.
Okay.
And yes, I used all the data on election night.
So now you got to sell your kidney to pay off the excess.
Exactly right. I've got to sell my kidney. So a new form of no form of technology is completely fail-safe, so it doesn't replace other alerting channels such as radio or social media, or the need to act upon natural warning signs. Now, a couple of other things I just want to mention as well was that when they had a whole bunch of when they had an earthquake, I think in 2010, the really big one, I think it was about 7.4 or something like that.
Yeah, something big.
It was pretty serious stuff. Anyway, after they had that 7.4, get this, if I had a big sound effect, I would put it on. See if I can find anything. Let's have a look. See if I can find anything at all. I'm just gonna see if this could be in here. Maybe in here. Let's have a look. Here we go. It should be in here. Maybe. Oh yes, here it is. Okay. Awesome. 28,000 aftershocks. Wow. I'll say that again. 28,000 aftershocks.
What was the time period? Do you know? That they got those 28,000.
Yeah, 28,000 aftershocks was from 2010 until about 2016, I think.
Wow.
So
amazing.
And some of them were bigger than the one that we had in Melbourne.
Yeah, I was going to say, and that's what I was thinking too. I bet they would be.
Yeah, and they had quite a few that were bigger than that as well. So.
Wow.
Yeah, just nuts. The other thing, capsicums cost $5 each.
Same price here.
Yeah, well, it's not a big capsicum. It's like size of an apple.
Right. Okay. Right.
So, but other things, not too bad. I've been here before when they've been ridiculously priced, and I've got to be. I don't know what's happened, but their food seems to be moderately well priced. I think what's happened is ours has gone through the roof. I'm not sure, but what I will do, and I said before, I will find a means to put the photos up from the Transalpine trip that we did. And that goes from Christchurch right up to a place called Greymouth, which basically means you go from the inner city Christchurch right out to the west coast of New Zealand on the South Island.
Yeah, okay.
The South Island.
Yeah.
And it's about a 4-hour trip, something like that.
Okay, nice.
And
it's spectacular.
It was spectacular. It was absolutely unbelievable. And to be able to just travel 3 or 4 hours and feel like you're just in a completely different country is pretty astronomical. And it was just it was absolutely glorious. I would totally recommend everyone do the Transalpine trip. It was absolutely fantastic, and we've been really lucky too. The weather we've had, it's been crisp, but absolutely beautiful. I mean, you're in Brisbane, so I can't ask you what the weather's like in Melbourne, but
cold apparently.
Yes, well, as I say, it's been cold here too, but crisp. Really just a beautiful crisp. And it's just lucky that wind hasn't been the wand hasn't been up too much because when
you
that
playing
bot
with
stage
wands? What?
comes along. Sorry?
You doing some magic spells with your wands? What? You're
Yes,
gonna come.
exactly right.
You're gonna come back with a Kiwi accent. No, we'll have to beat that out of you.
Well, no. If you speak to my friends Tom Fold Cross and and who's the other one? And Wendy. It should be fine. It should be fine.
The Windy House.
Yes, I've been trying to hone my New Zealand accent. It's not easy, I can tell you. It's
Has Ness picked it up? Like gotten a stronger accent now that she's back home?
Oh, well, she said deckhead quite a few times. Usually to me, obviously. So that sounds a bit Kiwi. It's got to be said.
Yes, very, very much so.
Very much so.
And have you had the obligatory fish and chops?
No, we have not had the fish and chops. Although we did have chops today, but they call them fries. I think because they don't want to say chops. So
I don't blame them.
But he did have to say wings. Would you like some wings? Yes, I love the wings. Right. Well, thank you very much. No, he actually, his accent, Christchurch accent is moderately subtle. It's not that. Yeah. It's not that hard. There's some places like Auckland, certain parts of Auckland, really full on, and the north of Auckland can be full on as well, accent wise.
Okay.
But no, Ness is quite light with the accent, and her sister's moderately light too. So it's not a huge. You just hear a little bit of vowel change here and there, but nothing, nothing too whatever. Oh, there was another thing that was quite interesting as well. I just wanted to mention, which was a record sum was raised. Elmo Buzzy bees, teddy bears, and 50 cc's decorated in all manner of colours and themes made their way across the South Island from Christchurch to Hokitika on Saturday. To raise at least $350,000 for the Cancer Society.
Oh, okay.
Of New Zealand. Canterbury West Coast Division at the biennial Trans-Alpine Scooter Safari. About 1250 riders took part on the 250-kilometre endurance ride this year, with some having to push their way over Porter's Pass in freezing conditions. Cancer Society fundraising manager Heather Locker said, while total amount raised was still to be tallied, the 350 confirmed so far was the most ever collected from the ride. It's great, Locke said. But it was cold, but we were lucky with the weather, and there was a little bit of rain and a sprinkle of fun. They come to do it because it's hard, like they're going through cancer, and they ride in solidarity. So there you go.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool.
Also in a Kiwi accent.
Well, it's as good as I can do. It's good as I can do. But there you go. So that's a little bit of stuff from across the Dutch.
Excellent. Well, I've got some
tutbutts.
Some points about, is it New Zealand or is it Australia?
I'll go for it.
Lamingtons. Are they Kiwi?
You're going down this road. This is dangerous territory.
Yep, it is, isn't it? Well, I'm going to leave the door open, but
they reckon they've got Pavlova as well. So
yeah, well, that was going to be my next topic too. So and there'll be more other controversies as well.
Yes.
So. Of course, the Aussies will claim the Lamington, and it was actually first published as a recipe in 1902 in the Queensland Country Life newspaper. But historians believe that the Lamington, or actually the Wellington, was created in New Zealand, and there's evidence in a painting that was dated around about 1888, where it shows a little, so it's a kitchen is the painting, and on the bench is a little Wellington, half-eaten Wellington on the bench. And
okay.
Yeah, so that's the evidence in quotes for those listening on the podcast,
Yes.
quoted evidence
Yes.
that
Yes.
is New Zealand's claim to fame. So New Zealand,
But
Australia.
yeah, but so well, I don't know. Did they have it, and then did we just take it and call it Lamington? Is that
Possibly.
I
And
don't
like
know.
all good things that are recipes, it can take a while before it gets published in somewhere
Yeah.
where it's recorded and so maybe the Kiwis invented it and we popularized it, I guess. So
maybe a bit like their rock stars.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, they invent them and then they make the money in Australia.
Yeah, and then we claim them as our own.
That's right.
The PAV is the same. Same history.
Yes, we have this conversation all the time. Ness and I.
And who wins?
Pavlova. Yes. Well, obviously she does.
Yeah. At least both countries agree that it was actually named after the ballerina Anna Pavlova. So at least we're in agreement with one thing. So
that's true. That is very true. Oh, there was a couple of things that came up today in conversation, which was that the Dutch circumnavigated both Australia and New Zealand, I think, before anyone else. They might not have jumped on and attacked the native people of the land first, but I think they circumnavigated first. And so Australia wasn't called Australia, as you know, it was called New Holland.
Yeah.
And at the same time, New Zealand was called New Zealand because it was the Dutch. And New Zealand never changed, but we changed to Australia. So that begged the question, or I should say, begged the question of Australia. It's like, where does that name come from? And I was like, I don't know. And I was like, is it indigenous? Is it a First Nations name? I don't know, because
might have to do some
why did they
research on
change
it.
it? Yeah. So
and where did Zealand come from? If it was New Zealand, who was Zealand?
Well, Zealand, I think, is a place in Holland somewhere.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Or it's Dutch for something.
For something, yeah.
If you know what I mean. I don't know what, but
bloody cold place, or too far from home.
I don't know. But Land of the Long White Cloud is that's said in Māori. I can't remember. I should know what that is. Aotearoa. Yeah. So Aotearoa is Land of the Long White Cloud. That's Māori.
Nice. Yeah.
And the Māori language is really soft. It's really lovely. And just for anyone who is listening to this podcast and is Australian, because we have a few people listening around the world as well, Maori is not how you pronounce Māori.
It's Māori.
It's not Maori. It's Māori, and you have to be very soft when you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Not Australian. I tell you what, I won't miss our treasurer not being able to pronounce an L in Australia. I will not miss that.
What? He couldn't?
No, it's Australia. Australians.
Right.
Australia and Australians.
I usually tune him out, so I didn't really notice.
I turned him off often as well, especially when he went Australia. So
Australia.
I can't handle it. I cannot
Australian
handle
budget.
Yes.
Just to stir up some more patriotism between
the
Kiwis and the Aussies.
I'm just going to get the outro music going.
Yep, get it started. Rebecca Gibney, she's one of ours.
Oh, no, she's not. Rebecca Gibney.
I know. We claim her as ours.
Rebecca Gibney.
Gibney. Keith Urban.
Oh, yes.
He was born there.
I thought he was American. No, I knew he was a
he lived in America.
Yeah. That's where he made all his money. But I mean, I know. Yeah, I know he's American. So.
Then there's Rusty.
Sorry. My bad. I know he's a Kiwi.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
There's
old Russell Crowe.
Good old Russell Crowe, yep. He's one of ours now.
He is.
Farlap. There's Wency here. You've been listening to the new
That is not the one we want. Sorry.
No, that's wrong.
Wency, keep going.
Wrong. We've got Farlap, who is Aussie,
Oh, that's a Kiwi, isn't it? Isn't that a Kiwi?
born in New Zealand, but
Yeah.
trained and raised in Australia. So other than being born there, everything happened here in Australia. So can't we claim Farlap? We've got to claim
What
Farlap, sure.
Oh,
Everything happened here.
well, yes. Well, that's yeah, but yeah. Okay. So therefore, we claim Crowded House as well then.
Well, that was going to be my next one. Yes, it's got to be ours. Just because Neil Finn was born in New Zealand, all the other band
Yes.
members were Aussie, and the band was formed
they
where?
were.
In Melbourne. So it's Australian.
Well,
So-
that's the way I look at it. That is the way I look at it.
Yeah.
But
I thought I'd throw those in. Always stirs controversy between the two countries.
yes, they're very good ones to throw in. No doubt
Yeah.
about it.
Well, I hope you guys
Um,
enjoyed Across the Dutch, because we're going to make this a regular segment on this show.
We are definitely going to do that. Absolutely.
That
and
doesn't
we'll
have
try to
much
do,
meaning. Doesn't
Sorry?
have much meaning. Doesn't have much meaning for me now, because come election night, New Zealand was going to be one of those countries I was going to emigrate to, but now I don't have to. So I'm happy to stay in Australia.
No, I know. It must just be such. I mean, I was so happy when I heard the other day his first speech, and he, welcomed a country. I'm like,
Yeah,
integrity, respect, instantaneously.
yeah.
I'm just like,
it's just
Oh.
a gentle, kind person, and hopefully takes us all on his journey. And
Yes.
speaking of Albo, my
Yes.
backdrop here is in honor of what he did in his first press conference. I think it was yesterday, Monday. He added the Indigenous and the Torres Strait Island flag in the blue room.
Move to your right slightly. That's your left, I would have thought. Isn't it? Oh, okay. That's cool. Yeah, no, perfect.
Yeah, so he got those two flags added, which has never been used before, apparently.
So we got the Torres Strait Island flag in there too.
Yep, and the First Nations, the Australian.
Yeah, I knew about the First Nations, but I didn't realize he did the Torres Strait Island.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
So
That's
it looks like
really,
they're going to be a
good.
regular feature at press conferences at Parliament
That's
House.
fantastic.
So good on you,
That's so
Albo.
good.
Well done, mate.
Absolutely good on you, Albo. Totally agree. And what's coming up next week, my friend?
Good question. Have we looked that far? We've been so busy looking at the election.
I know. Absolutely. Look, maybe we'll have a chat on that one. But we will do.
You'll be in New Zealand still, so.
Yes, I will be. I will be in New Zealand still, so I'll get that happening for sure. So
just listen to the show, guys. We'll be here same time. Well,
7 o'clock.
An hour
earlier. An hour earlier. But the potty will be out on Monday, or as fast as I can get it out.
Yeah.
Basically. So, but it should be good. So, thanks for tuning in tonight. If you did tune in, we see a couple of people there. Thank you very much. You can get us on blurtstar@gmail.com, Instagram, and Twitter. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Any comments, please leave us a question or comment, or whether you like us or not like us. Don't care. We'll respond to anyone if you're kind.
Yes,
if you're not,
absolutely.
We'll just ignore you.
We will indeed. I'll block you.
Yeah, it's even better.
But no, we will be back next week, and it should be fun. So we'll see you then.
We'll see you next week,
See you
guys,
Wednesday.
and have fun in New Zealand.
Oh, we will. And I'll try to keep away from the bug stunk as much as I can.
Oh, please do. Don't want to bring that back.
No, definitely not. All right, buddy. Until then, later.
See ya.
Bye, blessers.